look in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, I gotta say this right here. Ladies and gentlemen, these musty back helpers out here has devised another wicked plan to make a man crazy. I'm going to be covering the topic of pregnancy, but not a regular pregnancy, not regular pregnancies. This is going to be a woman who first says, if you want to know if you got a good man, if he is a great man of character, if he's going to be there for you through thick and thin, the best way to find out is for you to fake a pregnancy. You heard it. She said you better fake a pregnancy to see whether or not the man runs away or if he decides to stay in there. I tell you, boy, they come up with the newest of the new. I think the mustard back helpers get together in a group and they come up with these idiotic ideas. And when they all approve, they all make this noise in unison. Like a cow. Mustard back helper. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to this craziness. And you tell me what you think about this. I think I already know what you're going to say, but let's play it anyway.
The first thing is the pregnancy test. You heard me right, the pregnancy.
Okay, y'all, so I'm going to attempt to post this video again. Let's hope that TikTok doesn't take it down. So the beginning of the video was this young lady basically stating her opinion, saying that in order for you to figure out how solid a man is, you should fake a pregnancy and see what his response will be, right? I thoroughly disagree. I don't feel like you have to go into details and do all of that because to me, that's a bit immature and it comes off a bit desperate. What I think you should do is take that time and take your time and get to learn that person, right? Ask everything that you feel like you want to know about this person, right? Make sure that you both have the same end goal, right? And I will let time tell whether this man is telling me the truth or he's just saying what he thinks that I want to hear to appease me. You don't have to.
So this woman, the one that she's reacting to, obviously said to get pregnant or fake pregnancy. Well, actually to fake the pregnancy. To see whether or not if you're sleeping with a Pookie Ray Ray or a Nook Nook or a man who has character. So in order for you to even do that, that means you have to be sleeping with the man first, right? In order for him to think that you're telling the truth about him knocking you up. So women are out there opening their legs, becoming spread eagle, letting different men just jump inside of that womb just so they can put them through what is called a shit test. Just so they can put them through a test to see whether or not if they're going to be a good man to them. Shouldn't you have evaluated the man enough first before you even open your leg? So why are you taking chances with your health? Why are you taking chances with the possibility of contracting an STD or actually in real life get pregnant? You are running a risk of having an unplanned pregnancy in real life. So why would you even be sleeping with different men only to lie to them about being pregnant just to see whether or not they would man up if you are pregnant? Can you make that make sense to me? That is the dumbest stuff I have heard. And I'm glad that this one black lady here is at least talking some common sense. This world is crazy. And the condition of our women in our community is sad, bro. It's really, really sad, man. Let's keep going.
The truth, or he's just saying what he thinks that I want to hear to appease me. You don't have to go to these desperate measures to really see somebody's true character because they'll reveal itself. It'll reveal itself. All right. So I feel as though you don't have to use your body and be sleeping around because, in order for you to fake a pregnancy, you got to sleep with them, right? So what if you get 3 months in, and you figure out, you know what, I really don't like him like that. Well, now you've just given your body to somebody who wasn't even worthy of it. But if you would have taken the time to evaluate the situation and to really have the proper conversations and get to know that person, you wouldn't have had to do that. So for me, I disagree. What I think that you should do is figure out what are the most important things that you want in a relationship, right? And whoever you're dating, you need to have the conversation and figure out if they feel the same way. If you guys agree on the most important things. And if you don't, keep it pushing. And if you do, let's see where it goes. But I don't think that you got to be out here sleeping around with people and faking pregnancies to see if they're a solid individual. People will generally tell on themselves. Only thing you got to do is talk and ask the right questions. And if you do that, you will be perfectly fine. So, do what works for you. Okay? Don't sit around and be listening to these people relationship advices, because it'll have you out here looking crazy and feeling stupid.
I'm gonna tell you something. That's just basic common sense, man. What she said to you is some basic common sense. I know common sense isn't common. Like my grandmother used to say, that common sense is a flower that doesn't bloom in everyone's garden. And from what I can see, she told me the truth, because that's the dumbest stuff I heard lately. Now, I got more stuff. Now, I'm gonna cover paternity by estoppel. If you don't know what paternities by estoppel is, it's basically if you are legally married to a woman and she strays on you. Once she strays on you and she gets pregnant by another man, the courts will find you still responsible for financially supporting that child. Do you understand what I'm saying? So hold on 1 second while I pull it up on the screen for you. Trying to get it for you. 1 second. I think you're going to find this very, very, very odd, but at least I did. Okay, let's go ahead and get playing.
And this is also another thing people do where we talk about being responsible. So sometimes a woman is married, and they've been separated for a while. She gets pregnant by another man. Her husband is the father.
Well, so the husband
is the legal father, not the baby daddy is. The husband on the hook
for that child.
And so you can't even get divorced in Georgia if you're pregnant.
Really?
Because Georgia favors legitimate children being married in wedlock.
She said you can't even get divorced in Georgia now if you're pregnant. And she also said that if she gets pregnant by another man while you're married to this woman, you are still found liable for that child. And this is not the only state that does that. I got another one I'm going to show you in a minute. There's other states out here who do that. Then I'm going to show you some facts and statistics about this as well.
Children being married in wedlock, regardless of who put the baby in there. Okay? So you can't get divorced while you're pregnant, which I'm waiting for a couple babies to be delivered right now. That ain't the husband's. We're going to have to deal with it.
Right.
You know? So yeah, you can, husbands, you're definitely responsible for them babies.
So how do you go about, I guess, getting off the hook when that happens?
When you're the husband?
Yes, ma'am.
So it kind of depends on where we are and kind of like what the deal is, right? So because if we stick into the law, procedural, like we gotta have that other baby daddy tag into the case, basically almost like transfer legitimacy. That never happens though, because sometimes the baby daddy ain't trying to.
He said that almost never happens, where the real biological father wants to step up and claim that child because she slept with a Pookie Nookie, slept with a Pookie Ray Ray and Nook Nook, just someone to skeet up in her, just to have a good time. He didn't want no family. He didn't want a relationship with her. Now he got her pregnant, and now their law still makes the real husband liable to pay, makes him responsible to pay for his kid. He don't want to get involved with that because now he got to get put on child support. Man, you women out there silly as hell, bro.
Step up.
That's what I was gonna ask. So I guess if they deny it, it becomes just a bigger problem.
Yeah, it becomes a problem because the court is not gonna delegitimate a child.
You heard it here. You heard it. Now let me give you some facts, data, and statistics. I'm gonna give you one more video that's gonna blow your mind about the very same thing I just told you about paternity by estoppel. I gotta read this to you so make sure you understand greatly what it is. 1 second, I put it on the screen, y'all. 1 moment as I put it on there. All right, there it is. Let's read it together. It says, what is the paternity by estoppel situation? What is that? It says it is the concept is called parentage by estoppel. It means that the court can find that a man is the legal father, even if he is not the biological father, if he has always treated the child as his own. See, that's the situation a lot of us get into. I've been in those situations before, where if you get with a woman who has a child or children, and you really like that woman, and she has children, the infamous package deal, and you decide to be like a father figure to that child, you're just being a good man. You don't want to treat the child bad. What can possibly happen is this woman can take you to court in certain states and make you the legal parent, even though you're not the biological father. And the biological father cannot even really protest it. He can try to go through the courts with it, but if the judge finds you, the person who is not the biological father, who's been a role model for the child, buying clothes for the child, feeding the child, taking the child off the play, picking the child up from daycare and stuff, dropping them off at daycare like that, acting like a real biological father, the courts can make you responsible for financial payments to that child that is not yours. She can do that. Any woman can do that in certain states. Now, I don't know how many states in America do this, but from my understanding, it's over 25 states that does this law. You know what I mean? I think Texas is one of them. No, not Texas. It's another one. I can't remember. But there are places where a woman can say, you know what? You are the best option for this child, and I'm going to take you to court, and you can fight it. But all she has to do is to prove that you have behaved like a stepfather to that child, and you will be paying for that child. That's why I keep telling you, gentlemen, it is not wise to get into relationships with women who have children from other men. This is just another reason why. If you're a single man with no children, you should not really be trying to take any woman with children seriously. You should go look for a woman who is childless and create your own family. Majority, I know a lot of women don't like this, and I seriously don't give a damn. There's a lot of problems that come along with a woman who has a child from another man. Point out, it just is what it is. Men have got in a lot of trouble behind that, have to deal with baby daddies and stuff like that. Women are still sleeping with their baby fathers. Then you may want to say, I don't do this, I don't do that. I'm done with my baby daddy. Well, he don't know that, okay? It's best for a man who is childless to look for other women who are childless, period. I know you don't like what I said. I really don't care. But let's keep going. More facts for you. Now listen to this. It says here, the doctrine of paternity by estoppel is a legal principle that prevents a person from denying paternity of a child if they have acted in a way that would lead the child and others to believe that they are the child's parent, even if they are not biologically related. Again, if you take somebody else's child out to a football game, to a basketball game, if people see you in a grocery store with the bastard child, you out there with this woman's kid like that, if they see you doing anything that they could consider a father would do, then they can pin this on you. They could put the doctrine of paternity by estoppel on you, and it is legal. You have to pay money to fight against this, and even after you fight against this, the judge can still find you basically guilty of acting like a stepfather. Now, I want you to really think about what you just heard right there. Now, let's get back to the show. So I done gave you some facts, data, and statistics, man. I'm telling you, boy, it's rough out here. It's rough out here. And when you out here trying to play super daddy, whatever you want to call that stuff, man, you could be ruining your life. And this also applies to common law marriage too. I looked it up too. They can hit you. They can do that with common law marriage. If you're living with a woman who has a child and you decide to leave her, or she decides to leave you, she can still try to put that doctrine of paternity of estoppel, but it's actually called common law paternity of estoppel in that situation. Y'all look these things up for yourself, man. Now let's go ahead and keep playing this stuff.
When a divorced dad was ordered to pay child support for a child who isn't his, he turned to our Target 8 investigators for help. We uncovered it's perfectly legal for the state to order him to pay support for another man's child and to deny biological fathers who want to pay from doing so. Target 8's Heather Walker exposes a law that's being called outrageous.
Joseph Shamilar is a divorced dad of 2. Not even 9 months after the split, Joe got some shocking news from his boys.
And they got in the car and they were bouncing up and down, telling me that mom has a new baby. And I said, well, is she babysitting? Is she, is she looking after someone?
So you didn't think it was real?
No, I had no idea.
His ex-wife had given birth. She had gotten pregnant during their separation by another man. Legally, she was still married to Joe. Court papers clearly acknowledge the baby is not Joe's, but Albert Bush's, and that Bush had established a personal, financial, or custodial relationship with the child. The court ordered medical expenses be split between the biological parents. But the Friday before Father's Day, Joe got a letter in the mail from a friend of the court.
I thought, my God, this is hilarious. It's Father's Day weekend, and here's the biggest joke that I think I've ever had played on me transpiring right now.
The letter said he owed $8,500 in back child support plus medical expenses for a baby his ex-wife had with another man.
Did you hear that shit? On Father's Day, the courts tell you got to pay over $8,000 plus medical expenses and plus other stuff on a child that you didn't father, but your ex-wife, because she slept with somebody else. On Father's Day, you receive that. That should go to the actual father, but no, not in your case. Now, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all got to be careful about the type of woman that you are deciding to marry or to take serious, man. It's another reason why you really shouldn't cohabitate with a woman. You should have your own place, man, and let her have her own place, man. I'm telling you, man, you save a lot of headaches that way. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but I'm giving you facts. This was actually on the news channel. This was so crazy. This made the news, man. I don't know what I would do if I got a letter in the mail or someone or the court came to approach me and said, Mr. Hill. I'm like, what, motherfucker? I want you to pay for all these children. They ain't your children. We know it ain't your children, but today is your day. I'm like, what the hell?
Medical expenses for a baby his ex-wife had with another man.
So the court was asking you to pay for a child that's not yours.
Exactly.
I went to Ottawa County front of the court office to get answers. How is this legal? Their spokesperson agreed to do an on-camera interview, but on the scheduled day changed his mind and would only answer our questions over the phone. He told us it didn't matter who the biological dad is, only what's in the best interest of the child.
Oh, it seemed like a woman wrote that law. It seemed that's a selfish ass law right there. It said, we don't care who the daddy is. We just want to make sure the child is happy. We're going to operate in the best interest of the child. That is unfair. Okay? That ain't right. Can you imagine if a lot of women, so a lot of women don't know about this, but imagine if a lot of in our community found out about this, how much hell a lot of us men would be in right now? Everybody be getting pinned with babies.
Phone. He told us it didn't matter who the biological dad is, only what's in the best interest of the child. In other words, which one can take best care of the child financially. The court decided that was Joe.
Do you think this law needs to be changed in any way?
We went straight to the man who tried to fix the law, Senator Rick Jones.
I certainly would agree that if you're married to someone, they then run off and have a child by another man, that you should not have to pay child support. That seems a bit outrageous.
The original law was written back in 1956. It said if a child is born to a married woman, the biological dad has no legal rights. Last year, it was updated to allow husbands like Joe to fight financial responsibility.
What's the biggest problem with the law and the language, would you say?
It's not clearly drafted.
Melissa Drake is Joe's attorney. She tells us the law isn't just failing him, it's not working for biological dads either. Rob Recknagel says he's had trouble eating and sleeping since his son was born.
Every single day that goes by that I don't get to see him, it just gets tougher. I don't know what he looks like.
Rob says he searched online hospital nurseries just to see if he could find his son. He says he didn't know his girlfriend was still married when they got together. Rob says they were planning to blend their families. Rob bought a ring, but before she gave birth, Rob says he got this email saying although the baby was his, she was going to raise it with her husband.
Oh, that is a cruel, mean, manipulative hoe. Now, he didn't know that she was married, but I'm pretty sure she knew she was married. She got knocked up, got pregnant, and then told him, hey, I know you the daddy, but I'm going to raise with my husband. The reason I think she said that is probably because that man might be sterile. He might have had children with her before, maybe or maybe not, but can't have them now because that doesn't make any sense. It makes me feel that her motives was to intentionally get pregnant by any man and then get pregnant and then go to the husband and raise it. Now, if the woman husband knows that he's got a child that's not his and he's cool with that, that's what I really think has happened. But if the husband doesn't know that child is not his, that's a wicked, evil, that's a wicked ass woman, bro. Just keep going, bro. That is insanity, bro.
He got this email saying although the baby was his, she was going to raise it with her husband.
I'm standing here saying, I want my son in my life. I want to pay child support. Let's sign the proper documents and let me just do that.
You're trying to do the right thing.
That's all I want.
What can be done about this?
What can be done about this is people should be more responsible and shouldn't have sex outside of marriage, shouldn't father children outside of marriage, and should think before they act. That's what needs to happen. Could we do more? Yes. Could we fine tune it? Yes. Should a father have to pay support on a child when it's not his child? No. So We do need to do more, but we've made some monumental changes.
Heather Walker reporting. Well, after we started questioning friend of the court, it dropped its request for Joe to pay child support. In fact, 10 days ago, an Ottawa County judge issued an order clearing Joe of all responsibility for that child. As for Rob, he was able to see his son, but only for an hour. He's still fighting in court to get legal rights for regular visits.
That is crazy, man. Oh, Joe got lucky, but a lot of them are not getting lucky. Anyway, you let me know what you think about this topic, man. I'm looking forward to hearing what y'all got to say about this, because this is crazy, man. Anyway, y'all take it easy now. You hear?